Imotekh the Stormlord is a Necron Overlord who holds the title of Phaeron of the powerful Sautekh Dynasty and commands over 80 Necron Tomb Worlds. He is one of the most accomplished and powerful Necrons ever, and is characterized by his ruthless military expansion, terror tactics, honorific duels, love of the biotransference, and hatred of the Silent King Szarekh. Imotekh is known to be a great strategist, arguably one of the most accomplished in the galaxy, and is said to have never been defeated in battle, although his adversaries would argue this is an exaggeration. His Necron form possesses an advanced statistical and hyperlogical strategic encoding that would burn out the brains of organic beings. This gives him absolute recall, intense cognitive power, and the ability to clearly perceive webs of probable outcomes that some claim to be full precognition. Only anarchy and illogical outcomes can undermine his plans, and then only for a time. He has a better grasp on non-Necron psychology than most of his kind, and this has earned him the epithet of the Stormlord for his raising of dark energy storms that engulf those who dare face him as a form of psychological warfare. Like most Necrons, Imotekh's story begins in the murky prehistory of the War in Heaven. This titanic clash occurred over 60 million years ago and concluded with the Necrons defeating their enemies at the cost of both their souls and prospects. During the war, Imotekh was a renowned warrior, and his dynasty, the Sautekh Dynasty, was ranked the third most powerful of all the Necron houses. Consisting of 80 tomb worlds, its crown world laid on Mandragora, in what is now the galactic eastern fringe. Besides this information, very little is known of Imotekh or his kin's specific roles in the era. What is known is that after the Necrons were victorious, he and his dynasty complied with the Silent King and entered a great slumber to outlast their rapidly expanding new enemies. In stasis during the Great Sleep, the Sautekh Dynasty's slumbering Phaeron succumbed to the ravages of the eons. With no successor agreed upon awakening, the members of his royal court engaged in a civil war for the throne, and Mandragora erupted into chaos. One of the pretenders awoke the renowned Nemazor Imotekh in search of victory. However, instead of winning the throne for him, Imotekh promptly became enraged at the anarchy around him. He marshaled his own army and destroyed the pretenders, claiming the throne of Mandragora for himself. And thus, since 781 of M41, Imotekh the Stormlord has ruled the Sautekh Dynasty with an iron fist, forging it into arguably the strongest single Necron dynasty in the galaxy. Thanks to his time spent on the Civil War, he chose to forbid any infighting within his realm, considering it a waste of time and resources. The Sautekh nobility is noted as being the most aggressive and the most eager in attempting new waves of expansion to restore the Necron race to its former glory. They are known to frequently enslave non-human worlds and to frequently fight other Necron dynasties that refuse to yield before them, though to these foes they show more respect and honor. Despite this, defeated Necrons are brutally assimilated, and Imotekh does not even respect the authority of Szarekh the Silent King, the official ruler of the Necron dynasties of old. His campaigns to restore the Infinite Empire are known to encompass not only single worlds, but entire star systems and whole sectors of space. His strategies follow logical patterns, which interestingly has given races that abandon all sense of logic an advantage when dealing with him. Amongst the few races capable of such a feat are the Orcs and Chaos, which remain a constant thorn in the side of Imotekh, who has at times struggled to comprehend their seemingly random actions and motives. Besides these, his dynasty's expansion has brought him into combat against the Imperium, particularly the realms of Ultramar, the Tau Empire, his ancient enemies, the Eldar, and even some Tyranids, although he is the most disinterested in the Xenos threat, as they avoid his tomb worlds and only pose an existential threat to the organics of the galaxy. Tactically speaking, he is known to use terror as a weapon against his foes, recognizing its effectiveness against the lesser races. The Stormlord is known to have immense armies at his disposal and is known to requisition thousands of Necron warriors for his war campaigns. He leads his armies from the forefront and personally challenges high-ranking foes in duels of honorable combat, which has helped to build a fear-inspiring reputation. That being said, this honorific pride has proven itself to be a weakness at times, as the Phaeron is so obsessed with his honor and reputation that he almost never kills his defeated foes, but leaves them wounded in order for them to suffer from the humiliation of defeat. This means that, ironically, despite his brash cruelty by Necron standards, many valuable Imperial, Chaos, and Xenos commanders have been spared by the Stormlord and have gone on to continue the battle against his dynasty elsewhere. Finally, Imotekh is a great dissenter of the returned Silent King Szarekh. The Phaeron sees himself as the great unifier of the Necron race and does not wish to be eclipsed by any other in this role. Moreover, Imotekh views the mechanical forms of the Necrons as improvements over their prior organic states. This is in stark opposition to the Silent King, who desperately wants to reverse the biotransference and return to mortal bodies endowed with a soul. To that end, upon his return, Imotekh revolted against Szarekh's authority and currently leads the largest Necron force opposed to the Silent King's throne. The two have fought extensively in the Pariah Nexus, a region in the Ultima Segmentum. Imperial forces initially discovered this region by noting its bizarre anti-chaos properties, and with further study, realized that the region was entirely cut off from the warp. The Nexus is an ancient vast blackstone array constructed by the Necrons, more specifically the Imotekh Szarekh and the Sautekh Dynasty. Considered the pinnacle of Necron cosmic engineering, at the heart of the network is the Zendu system, where an immense blackstone cage has been constructed. This region is currently the seat of the Silent King's efforts to exert his authority and reverse the biotransference. As such, Imotekh has led a great offensive into the region, destroying any Blackstone arcology he can wrestle from the Szarekh dynasty's hands. As of recently, Imperial and Chaos forces are also seeking to secure the region, tying all four's fates and the fate of the galaxy at large to the outcome of the feud between the Silent King Szarekh and the awakened Stormlord Imotekh. Thank you for listening to this entry from the Warhammer 40,000 Lexicanum.